Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
And I'm Maureen Akers. Hello there. Welcome, Gary.
Good morning. Good
yes,
to be here.
Glad to have you. Okay, today's question, let's pull it right up. Gary, I fell at work where there was a wet floor sign. My employer says they are not responsible because I was at fault. Is that true?
Yeah, I think the quick answer is no, because workers' comp is not about fault. Workers' comp is about a hazardous condition that causes somebody an injury.
Yeah.
Right? And it really doesn't matter whether the employee contributed to it. So the truth is, no, they need to turn that into their workers' comp carrier and let the insurance company deal with it. If your employer has more than 3 employees, they should have workers' compensation, and it's there to make sure employees get well, get the medical care they need, get well, and if they're out for a little while, have some money coming in. It's not enough to live on. So, I mean, it's really difficult. If it was an injury to someone other than an employee, it would be much more significant. But what they're responsible for is the medical bills, lost earnings, and then if you're permanently impaired, some rating there. But because the amounts are diminished and smaller, fault is not an issue. It's just not it's a no-fault situation.
All right, good to know. Well, does the same apply to customers in that same store, that same scenario?
Yeah, well, so that's maybe what they're confused about, because the whole point of the sign is to warn people, look, we've been mopping here.
Right.
You got to be careful here. And if you do put people on notice of a potential hazard, then the argument is that you have insulated yourself. You know, the duty is this: if I know or should know of a problem in my store or business, and I don't warn somebody about it, even though I know about it, then I'm responsible for what happens to them, because it's almost like a man trap. I mean, you've set up this problem. If you put a sign out and if it's positioned properly, I mean, there's lots of caveats, there's lots of potential arguments about these things, but if the sign's right there and you have to walk around the sign to get into the spill, it's hard for you to argue, I didn't know there was a problem.
Didn't know it was there, yeah.
So if you know there's a problem, you assume the risk. Of course, there's legal arguments to be made on both sides of all these things, but generally that is why you put, that's not why you put a sign out. You put a sign out so that you're helping people not fall, right, because stuff goes on. So it's not just about liability and lawyers and insurance and all that, but it's about protecting one another. And that's what we want to encourage with the law.
Absolutely. Gary, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next Legal Break.